Hello everyone, welcome back to this particular video editing series where I started teaching you guys on how to color grade your images to make them look the way you want them to look in Lightroom. And I hope you guys have learned a lot from the previous videos. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll suggest link cards up here, or maybe leave in the description below the other subsequent videos you have missed. That's if you found this video out of nowhere. So go watch those ones and understand what we've done so far using the basic, the tone curve, the HSL, and the split toning to help color grade this image from that to this. And the very last tab I would want to target is the camera calibration. Well, to my understanding of camera calibration has three primaries: the red primaries, the green primaries, and the blue primaries. These three colors make up the colors in the image, and the thing here, it's more or less trying to make you be able, or gives you the option to send the tonal range of how the colors are supposed to look like into either the greens or the blues. Well, this is what's in most cameras. With Nikon cameras, you have majority of your images into the green tint, and mostly your Canon cameras are more into the magenta tint. That's when they are not able to when they are not able to process colors such as the dark skin. I think we should start trying producing black Canon or black Nikon so that we have appropriate colors for dark skin models, because dark skin models are one of the best models to photograph if you are a photographer. That being said, that's just by the way. So the red primaries, green and blue, explaining these, right? Let me see what I have in mind. To every image, there are reds, there are greens, and there are blues. Whenever you look at an image shot with all the primary colors in mind, what color do you think catches your attention the first or the most? Let me just give you 2 seconds to think about it. Let's just think, or let's just say it out loud. Greens. I hope you all had greens in your mind. If you didn't, sorry. So the greens get your attention the most. So majority of the time, there are a lot of greens in your image. And by that, even on a red skin, there are some greens on the red skin. There are some greens in whites, there are some greens in the greens, there are some greens even in the blues, right? So what the primaries here, or the camera calibration tab, does, or it gives you the option to be able to send your image to what it is you think you saw when you were having that photo shoot session. So if we are to, let's say, reset everything we've done so far and try and send the image to what I think I saw during the photo shoot, I can say I'll play around with these colors, then I'll try and mimic what I think I saw last year, 2019, which will be quite difficult because I don't think I remember what I saw. But looking at the image now, I believe this is close to what I think the girls or the model skin color was when I was shooting that day. But you can go a top notch with color grading using the camera calibration, or you can just make the image look as natural as possible using just the camera calibration. So let me just show you what I mean. And a lot of people do what we call orange and teal, right? People wonder what tabs or what adjustments you would have to do to a picture to get orange and teal. Some send it into Photoshop and use color LUTs and all that, but you can also have orange and teal here in Lightroom, and there are 2 primary colors that you can move to get to that orange and teal, and that's the red primary color and the blue primary color. As you can see, this is towards the orange and yellowish vibe, and this is towards the teal to the green vibe. So if I should move this to the left and move this to the right, this is our orange and teal. I believe it's too much, so yeah, orange and teal. This is what we call orange and teal, and you're good to go. So if I show you a quick before and after, before and after, before and after, that's the orange and teal. And adding the orange and teal to the skin, you realize that it has moved it from the reddish tone, which was this, to more of that, and that's not what we're looking out for. All right, so we can do that, but just a minimal change. And if I should zoom in, just take a look at that minimal change. Before, after, before, after. It's a very minimal change. So, and take a look at what happens when I move the saturation to the right of the blue primaries. You realize that I get more color in the skin, right? Because majority of the blues are located on the skin, right? So I have this. That's if you're wondering why you would have to reduce saturation and all that, that's only if you would want to come and move certain colors over here, right? So I would reduce the saturation of the green primary, right? Then by doing that, take a look at what the skin does. Now I have my skin closer to like the appropriate dark skin I saw during that shoot. Not that I remember, but I don't like sending my adjustments to the extreme, so I'll just keep it somewhere there. Then it's either you can move this up or down depending on what you're looking out for. But like I said, it can help you with your color grading. It can also mess up your color grading. It's dependent on what you want to do to the image, but I believe camera calibration is best suited if you want to just make sure whatever you saw in camera, you want to try and mimic that in post, not what the post-processing software gives you, but what you feel like you saw during the shoot. I hope I explained myself well. So let's see what the tint does. If I move the tint into the yellowish or the greenish tone, this is how, let's see, if pretending all the adjustments we did here were now, and this was how the image was brought to us. This is how I think Nikon will portray the image, more into the greenish tint, and this is how Canon will portray the image, more magenta, more reds. So the balance between the greens and the magenta, it's majority of the time dependent on what you are looking out for. So it's either I can add more magenta to the image, or I can just add a negative tint of 5 over here, then I just come and play around the tint over here, making sure that I have quite a balanced tint. Let's just keep it at 8. Move this to -2. So minimal changes done here, before and after, before and after. And yeah, that's what camera calibration can do to your images. I can choose to reduce the saturation, and this is what I get. I can choose to increase the saturation, and this is what I get. Same goes for the reds, but with the reds, I think you have majority of the skin being taken away, so make sure to be able to play around with it carefully. I think that brings me to the end of this color grading series I started. I hope so far you guys have learned something about color grading in Lightroom, which can help you as a photographer be able to color grade your images from one point, which let's say is this before, to another point, which is this after. So I have a couple of color graded pictures I did. That's when I wanted to edit this image. Yeah, it might not look its best because as of 2019, I still had no idea what I could do with Lightroom. So I was just playing around, and 2019 I ended up with a look, this particular look. I edited this picture, posted it, and I got a lot of feedback where people wanted to know how this was done. So try as much as possible to think of how this was achieved, how these colors were taken out and all that, and just when you go out next to grab a photo shoot session, just make sure to be able to produce the best out of whatever shoot you're doing, and try as much as possible to come and color grade the image to your preference. So that brings me to the very end of this video, if everything I mentioned from the starting or from the beginning of the color grading series to now, if you haven't gotten anything from that, then hit me up directly and let's plan a one-on-one online class session or one-on-one personal meeting session, which will probably come at a fee. But if you didn't get anything in this video and you want to ask me here, just ask me here. I'll be able to get right to it and answer you in the best way I can. If this video was informative enough for you, kindly give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to share this video. Please share the video so that others can also come and learn from what you have also learned from the very beginning of this video to the very end of this video. I hope to do more color grading videos, not only in Lightroom but also in Capture One and in Adobe Photoshop. I hope to see you in my next upcoming series, which I don't know yet. I would have to go think about it. And please don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in my next video. Peace.